Howdy ho, neighborinos. Welcome to another episode of Honest Trailer Commentaries. In this case, we're talking Unbreakable.
He's alive, damn it.
He's alive, which I'm told is from Kimmy Schmidt. This is a show where we talk about the other show that's on the other channel. So go watch that first, or not. Come back, and you'll see our thoughts about Unbreakable in full detail. And if you stick around to the end, you'll see some deleted scenes and cut jokes that didn't make it in. Guys, I hadn't seen Unbreakable in 20 years or something. I liked it.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I love this movie. I really, really like it a lot. And I really want Glass to be a good movie.
Yeah, I am. This did get me, I guess, retroactively even more excited for Glass after the second trailer came out. Look, it's a mopey film. I'm not gonna lie.
Mopey.
It's on the slow side, but it's a slow burn.
It is, and it's one of those movies that plays completely differently now than it did when it came out. Because when it came out, it's hard. It's one of those things to put in context. Because I saw it in theaters when it came out. A Blade had happened.
Yeah,
and X-Men had happened that year.
Yeah,
and that was as far as contemporary Superman or comic book movies that weren't Batman or Superman. That was it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the watching it now, I think it seems obvious that it's a comic book movie. But back then, the audacity to think that M. Night Shyamalan would have followed up The Sixth Sense with a comic book movie was like madness.
Yeah,
so at the end, when it's revealed like this is a superhero villain origin story, you're like, oh my god, of course it is. How did I not see that?
Yeah.
But I think everyone's now so trained to just know everything about it, and the concept of doing a superhero movie, everyone's just like, oh yeah, it's a comic book movie.
Right.
But at the time, it did not.
I
we did
remember
not see that coming.
It was advertised as like an M. Night Shyamalan movie in the sense that like this is a thriller, it's a mystery, and you won't believe that ending. Like I remember that being in the promotional materials for it, making no mention of comic books or superheroes or anything.
Nope.
No.
Which makes the build to Glass sort of ironic because now everyone's just treating Glass as like they would treat any other superhero movie. Like, here's a video of 15 things you need to know about the Unbreakaverse, which is the exact opposite of how we were given Unbreakable and even Split.
Can we make that video? He's divorced.
Whoa!
Yeah, he's got a rocky relationship.
Guys, we saw in the Glass trailer that he doesn't have on a wedding ring, so he must have moved to New York for that security job after all.
Number 2, abuse is a common theme in this franchise.
Yeah.
Like, oh wait.
Yeah.
Number 6, Easter egg for the creepy guy that broke into those people's house, murdered the parents, and kept the children hostage. Confirmed.
That's his tarp in the trailer. Look, it's not a perfect film. Especially, you got to be in a mood to sit through this. Because
this movie is literally all mood.
It's a mood piece.
It is.
Yeah, everyone is in a big mood.
Yeah, big old
mood in that.
Big old atmospheric mood.
Bruce Willis never gets above a 4 on the energy level.
Nope. But
That's being generous.
I think that's being generous. He never really dials it above a 4. But I think Sam Jackson, like, it's a perfect counterpart to him. Like, it is a really good match of hero and villain.
It is.
It's weird because it's all the stuff that also doesn't work in a bunch of other Shyamalan films at all.
Where everyone's kind of monotone and it's slow-paced and
monotone,
gray.
the dialogue's weird and clunky. It's super atmospheric, like it's a little up its own butt. But I don't know, just in this case, he shook up the voodoo bones and threw them, and it worked. And it, I don't know what it is because it's the same elements.
I think being a comic book story
happening,
a comic book story lends itself to that. Like, you're willing to indulge in a little bit of like heightened or rather like lowered reality, to be more of a weird tone because it isn't a world like ours. But is it?
Yeah, but when you have a superhero and his weakness is water, in the context of the movie, you're like, well, he's a superhero. That's his weakness. That makes sense. In Signs, it's like, why would you come to a planet that's 80% acid? That doesn't make sense to me. Why?
I'd love to see the like descent to Earth in Signs. We're like, oh god, it's water. Turn left, turn right.
Yeah, hey Pete, get some bad readings on.
Oh man! All right, let's watch. I was gonna say Signs. We'll do Signs eventually, but let's watch Unbreakable.
We talked about doing Signs for this one, and we didn't because it wouldn't make sense, I guess.
Not really.
It wouldn't make
The
6 cents.
following trailer is
We're gonna
rated
do this.
S for spoilers.
Have no other choice.
But come on, people. Seriously? After his breakout hit. I see dead people. But before we had to break up with him,
Bring me all your elderly!
M. Night
Pause.
Shyamalan was still
I just wrote in the script a bad clip from Last Airbender here, and
Yeah.
he said, "Which one do you want me to use?" I said, "Any of them."
Any?
Honestly,
You
I was
could
like,
pick one at random,
pick
really.
one. I said, "Close your eyes and point." And I said, "Oh, I do like the one where he says, bring me all of your elderly."
Bring me all your elderly.
Oh, that
Oh,
movie.
Zuko.
Oh,
That
dear.
movie broke my heart.
Yeah. Anyways, keep
M.
going.
Night Shyamalan was still Unbreakable. You liked Split, and after someone explained why Bruce Willis was in it, you keep meaning to check out Unbreakable, the atmospheric thinking man's comic book film that M. Night kept insisting would be a
Pause.
trilogy.
Can you back up to that shot of the kid playing with the action figures? Is that a cardboard cutout of David? Or is that Bruce
in the-
Willis
No, I think
behind
he's
him?
just I think he's so still that he looks like a cardboard cutout.
But that's him. Okay, wow,
that
yeah.
him?
Real low energy.
You sure that's not James McAvoy?
oh, number 17.
Oh God, if that's the twist and he's also David Dunn, I'm gonna.
Isn't that the exact plot of the adaptation of Donald Kaufman's script?
Yes.
What is it?
The
Five?
serial killer is also the detective.
He's also the detective.
and there's this chase between man and horse.
Yes.
Or no, train and horse.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, keep going.
But we've seen him running like a horse in the
Yeah.
Trilogy. Then that kept not happening, which in hindsight was a really good thing, because he had a lot of crap to get out of his system first.
Plan on murdering me in my sleep.
What?
No.
Worth it? Bruce Willis shines as David Dunn, a detached middle-aged man who doesn't take full advantage of his talents and just kind of mopes around even though he's got it all, aka Bruce Willis.
Pause. If you haven't seen that clip, it was in the Screenies one year,
Yeah.
and we try to feature it wherever we can.
Yeah.
And God bless this British gentleman who was on the other side of this interview. That is a junket for Red 2. And Bruce Willis, completely unbidden, decides to explain to him, just like, he's like, the fun part was
was
filming
making the movie.
We did that months ago. This is all. This
Not
is
fun.
all.
Fun part's over.
Yeah,
This is
fun
work.
part's over.
And then-
This is selling.
What's her name from Weeds? Mary
Louise Parker.
Louise Parker. Yeah.
She's doing her best. She's like the fun
But
part's
she
done.
really isn't helping that much because
No.
she says, "Yeah, the fun part's over."
Yeah. and then guy's like, really? Oh, well, I quite like this movie. And that's where this comes. I quite like the movie. He's like, oh yeah, oh did you? Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, did you like it? Did you like the movie?
so weird.
And then he's just like, well, how would you tell people to see it? He's like, I wouldn't. What does he say? I'd slash my hooves.
I'd slash my hooves.
I'd
he
slash
says.
my hooves.
It's such a weird quote, but
Oh, man.
awesome. The junkets aren't easy on them. I mean, their
No.
lives are easy, but junkets it's an entire day of acting, of pretending to be engaged and awake and stuff like
Yeah.
that, because they just sit there in the chairs and they just roll in one schmuck after the next for as long as it takes to get every single outlet, and they do it, a couple days in a row. And Bruce Willis, he doesn't have to do this.
No.
Which means he shouldn't have shown up in the first place. But the fact that he is there and at the end of his rope makes for some really funny junket interviews. It's not just this British guy. I was looking at all the junket interviews from Red 2. And
Was he in rare form?
not happy. Not happy to be there. Look at that body language. Both their arms crossed. They look like they're like Team Rocket.
See, they lucked out because they're just like in a hotel room, which is mildly comfortable. The junket for The Nun was in an abandoned convent in Mexico City, and it was freezing and raining.
That's cool.
And I guess they weren't A-list enough to bitch about the fact that they
Yeah.
were freezing to death.
Yeah, they're probably in no, they're not, because he's like, whatever city they're in, Bruce is like, I wish it was like Istanbul. Istanbul's a nice place.
That's amazing.
Aren't they in London?
Yeah, I think they're in London, but he has,
Not
he has some question about, like, have you ever been somewhere? And he's like, I wish I was in Istanbul. Okay, Bruce. Okay. All right, moving on. Yeah. Let's keep going.
Sorry, Bruce.
Watch as his dreary life is turned upside down by Elijah Price, a fragile obsessive who insists that everyone likes comics the same way that he does,
This is an art gallery, my friend. And this is a piece of art.
and who's prone to angry, violent outbursts, aka modern-day comics fans. Together,
Pause.
they'll shake up David's midlife.
I'll let the viewer determine what the original line was for modern day comics fans and what we watered it down to. I'll just leave that in your brain.
I'm trying to think.
Keep playing.
Oh, yeah, I didn't write that draft.
Keep
You
going.
can ask them.
Together, they'll shake up David's midlife crisis by discovering he has the power to lift any weight, lick any toilet seat,
You don't get sick.
and pause for any amount of time in the middle of a sentence.
I'm still moving there. It's just
Props to Kevin and
Kevin.
TJ for
not now.
adding this little visual pizzazz.
Kevin and TJ will often email us and
This morning
say,
was the first morning that I could remember that
I came up with a silly idea. And 9 times out of 10, we're like, love
Yes,
it.
great.
Sadness.
Pause. I do just want to talk about his powers and him not getting sick ever in his life, and him not noticing that until someone else pointed it out. Not a cold, not the flu.
Well, when you don't know the difference, I guess.
When you're just always kind of down in the dumps.
Never been
Well, he's
sick,
always
then.
been sleepwalking, I
Through
guess.
life,
Yeah.
But also, like, how about this? High school football player, college football player, or something like that. Like, never saw how much he could lift. Never threw some more weight on.
Never pushed it.
I guess
don't
if
know.
you're strong and you're lifting weights and you're like, I'm strong, then why would you
Why-
need to lift
yeah.
more weights? You
Yeah.
already got strong.
Okay.
You already got strength.
I mean, this is a guy who decided he was going to leave his wife because one day he was like, oh, I didn't tell her about a nightmare I had. So I can't see him being a guy who's like, let me see how far I can push this weight and really excel at things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also the wife being like, he was a football player, and that was a complete deal breaker for me. Football is violent, and he was a monster.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I made him give up his dreams to be with me.
she didn't. She didn't make him. He did it of his own volition.
Right. You're right.
He knew that it was probably not going to be a productive thing for him, and he chose her over football.
That's true. I do. I do run that back. But then, come on, it's his dream. It's not a healthy relationship. Also, was he just fake limping for months?
I guess
Yeah.
so.
Going to doctors and being like, no, this is real.
I think so, yeah. He was just fake limping. Lin-Manuel Miranda did it.
Did he?
Yeah, did you see him on Graham Norton?
No.
He told his story. He wanted to get out of summer camp, so he faked a spinal injury. And then limped for the rest of the summer so his parents wouldn't find out.
Wow. That's commitment.
That's
Commit to the
that
bit.
that was my highlight this weekend, was finding that out.
That's real fun. Why
Well,
do
there
you
you go.
why would you want to get out of summer camp? Summer camp's great.
It must have been a shitty camp.
Yeah.
Go to theater camp,
Awful
Lin-Manuel,
summer
if you
camp.
don't,
Come on.
if you hate lakes so much. Keep going.
Strap in for everything you love about early Shyamalan, like clunky dialogue,
You can't let bad things happen to good people, right? That's your code, right? That's the hero's code?
something about water being scary,
I'm afraid of water. You have a weakness. Water. You remember the story about the boy that almost drowned in the pool?
and a twist
Pause.
you'll never see.
Now, there was a documentary about Shyamalan where he talks about drowning as a kid, or almost drowning, which then turned out was a hoax that M. Night Shyamalan came up with. The documentary was fake. It was somebody else's documentary, but he was actually involved and in on it, and he never actually drowned. So,
Wait, what?
How weird is this? That he's like making that into his fake, haunted
That sounds about right.
Thing at his
to me,
core.
if I'm
Is
being
that
honest.
a twist, or is that just gaslighting and repeating something until it's true?
I guess I really don't. Make a documentary about that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I was just looking into it. Like the water thing comes up a lot. It's like, oh, here's this clip of him talking about this drowning experience he had as a child. Oh, and then there's this article about how this documentary is actually a complete fake to like establish the mythos of M. Night Shyamalan.
I mean, he was very, particularly post Unbreakable, pre Lady in the Water. He was very invested in maintaining and manufacturing a certain mystique about himself.
Remember when you could do that?
Yeah.
I feel like that's not a thing anymore.
No,
Yeah.
that's how Hollywood operated on mystique from like the 20s through the 2 years ago. From the 20s through Twitter, Hollywood operated completely on mystique, and now you can't do it anymore.
Nope. No, man. I saw him. I think I saw him eating cookies at a restaurant once.
See?
And his mystique
Gone.
was shattered.
Yeah.
Yeah, you eat cookies just like the rest of us.
Can you imagine if Keanu Reeves had eaten that sandwich with no Twitter and no social media? He would still have the mystique.
It would be gone
in
like
Keanu Reeves.
tears in rain.
Yep.
Okay, keep going.
See coming the first time. That will be so obvious the second time around, you won't know how you missed it.
They say this one has a surprise ending.
I mean, is it still a twist if you're expecting a twist? Or is the real twist knowing he knows you think a twist is coming, so he probably won't do a twist, then doing a twist anyway? Boom! Shyamalan.
So pause.
So before you experience
We're all expecting a twist for Glass, right? It's the end of a trilogy, so it's kind of tough to
Yeah, I don't know what the twist could be.
leading into something else, but I'm expecting a twist.
I don't even know what Glass is gonna be. I also don't know why I just sound like Bobcat Goldthwait for 2 seconds. It's the butthead.
Eddie Bro, is that you?
I don't know what Glass is supposed to be. Like, I don't think it's gonna be a. I'm still doing it. I don't think it's an I have no idea what to expect from that movie. That's
Okay.
the twist for
Some
me.
trickery is going to be involved.
There will be some
There's
trickery.
going to be some kind of trickery going
Some
on.
tomfoolery, some rugs will be pulled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I don't know how.
Yeah.
But something.
But I'll be on edge. And I'll be like that guy in your screening that went, "Oh my God!" when it happens.
Oh, yeah.
Is it gonna be something terrible? Like they're gonna at the end they're gonna zoom out. And there's gonna be like a Kevin Feige guy, and he's plotting out the beats of it on the wall, and he's like pitching it to Disney, and he's like, "That's my shared universe." And
It's like 1998, and they're like, "Comic book movies will never work."
yeah,
Yeah.
F. Day Shyamalan.
I was thinking that that this would be the book that M. Night Shyamalan wrote in Lady in the Water that would inspire a generation.
The cover closes.
Yeah, and
Yes.
it's Paul Giamatti and the nymph or whatever, and
Oh,
the,
or
the
I
Grendel
see.
Snarks. And
M. Night is
what were those other things in there? The Snarkin' Wolves?
Yeah, and M. Night's reading it to Paul Giamatti in
Exactly.
bed. Like
and then
Princess Bride.
the wind blows, and they both just slit their throats.
Yeah.
The end.
The end.
All right,
and
we
then
called it.
A signs alien
Yep.
kicks in the door, but he's dead
Because water.
because of water. And that's it.
Yep. Keep going.
Nailed it.
Solved.
So before you experience the mind-blowing scale of the next big comic book movie, dial things back. Like,
Do you think Dark
way
Phoenix is going to
back.
come out?
I think it will.
For a superhero film that does it all without CGI, epic battles, or sky beams. Because sometimes all it takes to tell an epic story is the power of
So what was the thought process behind this?
Just a movie with a lot of stairs in it. Time to bring it back. So much staring into the middle distance.
My favorites are the ones you think we're going to cut away from, and they just
keep going. More stairs than this are, of course, in the movie, but these are the longest stairs.
Yeah.
Staring, Psy-Hard, Haley Joel Osment, Breakman,
You like this
and
kids
Robin.
with bowl cuts.
And in West Philadelphia, born
boy.
and raised,
All
near
Dan.
the playground was how he spent
Yeah,
most of
Dan
his
was like,
days.
"I have an
He
idea."
left taxi because fate is so cruel,
Here's
too
this
sick to
thing
shoot. He all
completely
out, so
written
to school,
out.
Then an unbreakable guy who was up to some
Clearly
good.
been thinking of it
Started
for
saving
weeks.
children in the neighborhood.
Literally,
He derailed
though.
one little train and the guy got scared and said, "I'm sending you to an asylum for psychological care."
Nice. Yeah, bravo.
Man of feels.
He feels people. Feels what they're feeling. Now, what's the pause? What's the threshold on his touching of criminality? Could he like see me jaywalking if he just brushed against me?
See, this is why I'm so scared of Glass. Because those are the conversations that I don't give a shit about. But they will happen in earnest. Like, what is can he lift a car? Like,
Yeah.
could rescue man, whatever the hell his name, could security guard man defeat Spider-Man in an arm wrestling match? Like,
He's gonna have to. That beast looks scary.
I want that stuff to stay
like
away
Jerry
from
Seinfeld.
Unbreakable. Did you see that beast?
He's on all fours like a dog.
He's crawling on ceilings. Bedlam. I just want those things to stay away from Unbreakable. It's its own
Yeah,
little.
it deserves to be on its own terms, but it is getting progressively more comic booky.
Or is it?
Or is it?
Or is it, you guys?
Ah. Yeah, and you know, he's developing his powers, so maybe he can touch felonies now, but he can move his way down more as he gets more sensitive to minor infractions.
But I'm assuming he's
Misdemeanors
now a master of his powers because it's been 18 years, so he should be a he should be a master of whatever it is he does. Crime touching. Crime
Crime
fields.
fondling.
There's a word for it now. I don't remember it at all. There is like a weird dumb telekinetic touch word or telepathic touch word, and it's gone from
Yeah,
here.
that's okay.
Yeah, well, let's finish.
You better not be jacking off to the Japanese comics, I swear to God.
It is called hentai, and it is art. Good day, sir.
There you go. We'll leave you with that. Let's roll right into some deleted scenes. Let's just do it. Hit it.
Staring. Unbreakable. He alive, damn it. Bruce Willy. You're a mean one, Mr. Glass. Lone wolf, fall-prone, plotting purple people mangler. My wife, Claire Undermine.
Was that
Was that supposed to be Borat?
Was that supposed to be Borat?
supposed to be Borat.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't do the Borat. Okay.
My wife.
Yeah, very straightforward read on that.
Sometimes we know we're not going to use it.
it. Split
Because we're
happens.
dorks.
Oh, okay. Split happens.
Now, Robin
The
Wright
only
is
way
in
I
this.
could be
and-
more hyped for Glass is if it were called Unbreaking 2, Electric Boogaloo. The real mystery of this movie is the lack of decent newspaper editors. They ran the same headline 3 times, and they misspelled accept.
Got him.
Because I'll expect a newborn.
Can't enjoy the movie now.
No,
can ya?
ruined. But there is a Robin Wright's in this film, as is the guy who plays Doug Stamper in House of Cards.
Yes, he's
so
the doctor in the emergency room.
That would be a huge twist in Glasses if they all team up to just beat Frank Underwood into a pulp.
That's how they discover what Kevin Spacey's been up to. Is David Dunn actually walked by and like brushed him on the shoulder?
Yeah. Oh God. Attack. Yeah. More thoughts on Unbreakable?
I like this movie.
Yeah, it's good.
Moody.
It's a nice.
Yeah. It's a period piece for me. I am curious how people that see it now react to it.
Yeah.
Because it does read and feel different now in the 18, 19 years later than it did in 2000 when there were 98% fewer comic book movies and when this actually seemed like an audacious thing to do.
Yeah, and just like little 2000s-isms of, you know,
The score.
The
and-
techno
score.
which I love. I love when
yeah.
he gets when he puts the slicker on and he's in the
So Matrix.
Yeah.
oh, you know, that's so late 90s, early 2000s.
This was so just wheelhouse. Like I was at the right age to see this one, where I was like, movies can do this. Tight.
Yeah.
Just, and I know it's a lot of staring and a lot of atmosphere, but just there's so much of it. Again, just works for me. Like him like sliding the newspaper to the kid just to like confirm that he's right is like a good moment. And
Yeah.
There was not a small amount of disappointment with this film when it came out. People were disappointed. They wanted a bigger twist.
Stupid.
I'm serious.
and
there
that's
was
like-
a lot of people that were expecting like a mind-blowing Sixth Sense type experience, and it was so underplayed and subtle that when it got to the end, people were like, "That's it."
Yeah, right.
Like, well, yeah, because it's
Don't
not
set
the
him up
same
to
movie.
do that every time. He shouldn't have done one at all for his second film, so that people stopped thinking of him as the twist guy.
Twistmeister.
Yeah, he got sent
Twistmaster
down.
General.
His career is a big U, and now I think it's not back to Sixth Sense, but it's close.
We're getting-
I'm now excited
yeah.
to see his next movie, and it took a lot of work, but here we are.
Yeah, he's a weird dude.
Yeah.
There's
Just
always going to be some weird stuff in his movies, weird side plots or rapping kids or stuff that you're like, why is this in here? But I think he's doing well.
Yeah. So, cheers to you.
Yes.
Have a cookie on me, M. Night. And cheers to you, viewer. We hope you'll be back for more of similar content than you just received for next week's, which is holiday themed, but kind of late to the party. Is that next week?
I don't even know what
I don't
next
know what you're
week
talking
is.
about.
Oh, yes. It's holiday themed.
Yeah. So enjoy that.
yeah.
And enjoy that
Still
little
don't know
tease.
what we're talking about.
You'll pick it up later.
Okay.
And we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.